It's a great day in the studio today, and you're listening to the Talk That Talk Weekly podcast sponsored by the Celebrity Spotlight Live Talk Show. I'm your happy host, Modesty. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of the Talk That Talk weekly podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope your week has been not just a good one this far, but better than that. And I hope that it's been filled with love and joy, peace and happiness, because your joy matters, your happiness matters, and your peace certainly does matter. Now, just a quick service announcement for those of you who are going to be traveling en route to your vacation destination via plane, or you're going to be cruising, or just going to see family members or friends who live abroad. Choose the cruise line you're going to take carefully, as well as the airline, especially if you have not had a great experience with the airline you normally book with. You can also consider booking an agent, and as a result, you might obtain unbelievable discounts or savings for your trip. I won't mention any specific names regarding airlines because I'm not marketing or promoting for them, but incidents have been happening more frequently now with mechanical failures and other onboard issues, quote unquote, etc. And I want everyone definitely to make it safe and to get to their destination safely. And it's part of my life and what I practice daily, and that is asking God for safe travels and His protection, even if it's even if I'm just crossing the street from my residence, because the unexpected can happen anywhere and at any time. So everyone, enjoy your summer vacation, enjoy your trip, and be safe. Every week we do weekly quotes because words have power, and words empower, and words strengthen, and words can change lives. The quote for this week says, when one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us. I like that. I'm going to read that again. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us. This amazing quote, phenomenal quote, is credited to the late Helen Keller. Full name, Helen Adams Keller. She was an author, a political activist, a lecturer, and Helen Keller was the first deaf and blind person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. The words of her quote are so true. Sometimes in our pursuit of finishing something we've started but didn't complete, we might reach a place called tired or stuck. If a particular project or opportunity we were looking forward to but ended up being disappointed about in the end, that too can bring us to a place called stuck. A plan or a goal that either didn't come to fruition or we didn't reach or fulfill when we expected to might also bring a person to the place called stuck. But you must not allow what could have happened but didn't happen to get the best of you to the point where you stop reaching, you stop wishing, you stop wanting, you stop hoping, you stop trying, stop believing, and just stop completely before you reach the finish line. There are many doors in life, and what Helen Keller is saying to us is don't get stuck just because one door has closed. There are others. Look for them. Open them and proceed to pursue what's behind them. Don't abandon your dreams, your wishes, or your passions, but push through until you make it to the place called the finish line. I like that quote a lot. To thank and appreciate listeners of the Talk That Talk podcast, every week I conduct shout-outs or mentions. And firstly, I want to extend my condolences and prayers to anyone who is listening, who is mourning the death of a relative, a family friend, a co-worker, or a neighbor. Reflect on and remember the good times with them that you shared. And as long as you keep them in your heart, they will remain alive in your thoughts. Happy birthday to those of you celebrating your birthday, and happy anniversary to couples that are celebrating their wedding anniversary as well. Happy retirement to all retirees and those of you who will be retiring this year as well. I wish you all of God's best. Enjoy your retirement to the max. And congratulations to anyone listening who recently was proposed to or whose hand has been asked for in marriage. God bless you. Wishing you all the best as well. Now, to those of you listening who are aspiring actors or actresses, you like to act or you're interested in being an extra in a movie, a reality show, or a commercial, I have information that will give you a listing of nationwide auditions and casting calls that offer opportunities for you to stretch your imaginative and creative muscles, as well as your vocal ability. So contact me at celebrityspotlightlive@gmail.com. If we really think about it, acting is a part of everyday life. When you turn on the television, all we see is the result of actors and actresses. Every comedy, every drama, every series, every show, the movie theater, Broadway plays, acting and actors are literally everywhere, and they play a major role, especially in television life, that is. And speaking of acting, when I was in high school, I said this before, one of my favorite classes was the drama class, and I got the opportunity to do 2 leading roles in 2 plays. One of the plays was My Fair Lady, which was a movie classic, it still is a classic, from 1964, and Desperado, which was a Western comedy play that my drama teacher had written. I had a ball and was considering an acting career, but I changed my mind a few years prior to graduating. But I enjoyed every minute of it while I was in high school. Now, several years ago, I contemplated venturing back into acting, believe it or not. So I registered for an acting class that offered classes in scene study, cold reading / audition technique, improvisation, and on-camera techniques, which is what I studied. Attending the class gave me the opportunity to meet some very talented young men and women who were gung-ho about acting, and they wanted to learn everything that they could to sharpen their skills, they already had. And others were there for the first time also to learn about the ins and outs of acting. Now, I appreciate this art more than ever before. Although being an actor / actress seems like a lot of fun, it's hard work because the actor and actress have to totally empty themselves of who they are, mind, body, and spirit, to become the characters that we see them portray on screen. It takes years for some to master the art of acting, but there are some who have done it. Denzel has done it, Viola Davis has done it, Al Pacino, Leo DiCaprio, a phenomenal actor, James Earl Jones, the legendary and veteran actor, and so many others. So again, contact me if you're interested in the audition and casting information, and I'll be more than happy to send it to you at my earliest convenience. The Talk That Talk weekly podcast topic for today is going to highlight one of the fabulous 8 topics, and that is family. Okay, the Fabulous 8 is a list of topics, all beginning with the letter F, that I choose from on a weekly basis to discuss various things concerning family reunions. Okay, it's a family affair. We're going to talk about the family in this segment. A family reunion is like one big family celebration or family party where everyone is familiar with one another and have known one another for years. It's where you reminisce and recall some of the family family's most humorous, laughable, odd, or inexplicable times that you've encountered with one another, and it becomes quite a joyous occasion. Sometimes a family reunion is where you get the opportunity to meet family members you've been told about but never met before, or you've seen pictures of. So you're introduced to them for the first time, and it can make you feel kind of awkward or a little unnerved, but as everyone starts to eat and laugh and enjoy one another's presence, it takes away some of the pressure or the awkwardness. My family is scattered abroad. Some of us live as far east as Boston and as far west of the United States as Arizona, and as far south as Florida, which I like referring to as the Deep South, and other southern states. Although my family have never really had an official family reunion, we have had hundreds of family and friend picnics and barbecues over the years. I come from a large family. My grandmother gave birth to 13, some of which have transitioned and passed away already, and 6 remain, 4 uncles and 2 aunts that I'm thankful to God for. And the closest we did come to having a family reunion was a few years back when one of my sisters passed away. Prior to that, she came up north and summoned several of our cousins. She cooked like it was Thanksgiving, and we had a good time. And sometimes I wonder if she knew or had an inclination that it would be the last time she saw all of us together in that manner. But nevertheless, it's a gathering that I will never forget. We had so much fun. This podcast might even be a confirmation that some of you need, or the initial boost to start planning a family reunion in the coming year if you've never had one before. Based upon my research, here are a few tips for planning a family reunion. Depending upon the size of your family, usually 4 to 6 months is generally a good amount of time to get the buzz going and to start planning. It's probably similar to planning a wedding and reception, because a venue or location has to be solidified. That is, if you're not going to have the family reunion in a park. Family members have to check their vacation schedules. They have to wait until their children are out of school if they have small ones. And the seniors or elders of the family have to be brought into consideration as well. Most family reunions are held once per year or every 2 years. A committee is generally established and designated for various aspects of the family reunion, so that 1 or 2 people are not carrying the weight or the planning of everything, because it can be a lot of work, although it's a lot of fun on that day. A budget is created as well to cover the expenses for the reunion when members of each family are asked for a particular amount. Again, it depends upon meeting and deciding where it will take place. Some have their family reunion in a hotel, or, as I first stated, a park. Some even cruise, which is a great thing as well, for their family reunion in another state. Some travel to another state or another isle, or to one of the islands to have their family reunion. So family reunions can become very creative. Family reunions can be costly as well, as I first stated, but nevertheless, again, it's all worth it. T-shirts are generally a staple for family reunions, and other souvenirs and favors for each of the family, in addition to make the reunion memorable. When they get back home, they'll have something, to look at and talk about, etc. There are all kinds of games the children can play, adults can play too. If you can pry the cell phone from their hands and get them to abandon video games for a period of time, there are a lot of games that the kids can play. That's an idea. Ban cell phones at the family reunion. Never mind. Then there might be a family fight. Okay, squash that idea. If a park is chosen, the menu, of course, has to be selected. Decorations come into play as well. Printing signs directing family members to where the meeting place is. Cooks and grillers have to be chosen as well. So putting together the family's history or a family tree can be lots of fun as well. Taking tons of pics and even videotaping the reunion or capturing some of the highlights and posting them to social media and sharing them with other family members will leave lasting memories as well. Now, regarding photos, a family member or two can be in charge of putting together a collage of photos by the year. For example, pics from family members from the 30s or the 40s, the 50s and 60s. And what this will do is give everyone the opportunity to see how their relatives used to dress and what they used to do for fun and how they lived years ago. I'm smiling from ear to ear as I'm talking about this. Family is all we have. Some families are closer than others, while some are estranged from one another, but we're still family. I want to share now some quotes about the family that I believe will make you smile and feel good on the inside. Family is like music, some high notes, some low notes, but always a beautiful song. The meaning of family, Family, it means father and mother, I love you. That's personal. Family is where life begins and love never ends. The family is one of nature's masterpieces. You don't choose your family, and this is a quote. They are God's gift to you as you are to them. And this quote is from the Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He's a Southern African educator, theologian, Nobel Peace Prize recipient, and a human and civil rights activist. And last but certainly not least, this is a very common phrase and adage that many people utilize, even nowadays. The family that prays together stays together. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for me to say see ya. It's time to wrap it up. Again, thank you so much for listening, and thank you for joining me today. If you would like to inquire about my services for an event, for a women's breakfast or a brunch or a luncheon or a women's panel, or a women's empowerment session, you can call me at 646-515-4375 or email me at celebrityspotlightlive@gmail.com. I also conduct 15 and 20-minute promotional interviews for new business professionals, entrepreneurs, entertainment professionals, authors, and ministers on another platform. For details about that, visit csltalkshow.com. As always, although it's good to be important, it's more important to be good. Have a great week all.